Okay, this is the April 19th, 2022 meeting of the City of Palm Springs Architectural Review Committee. Mr. Robinson, would you please take roll?
Yes, sir. Member Dan Thompson?
Here.
Member John Walsh?
Here.
Member Steve Perlin?
Here.
And Chairman Jackway.
Here.
Mr. Chair, there are four of you present, so we do have quorum. We did receive a call from member Tom Dozie and Vice Chair Robert Ruckman, so they were excused. They have excused absences.
Okay, and I just want to note that Dan Thompson, who is our alternate member, will be a voting and contributing member to this meeting. Do we have a staff report on the posting of the agenda?
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mr. Chair and members of the ARC. This meeting was published on April 13, 2022. The meeting has been posted according to the state law. Thank you.
Thank you. Does the committee have any revisions to the agenda? I see none. Do we have a motion to accept the agenda?
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by Steve. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Since this is a public meeting, audience members are permitted to comment on any issue that is within this committee's purview. Comments on an item appearing on today's agenda are made at the time that that item is presented. If you would like to speak on an item that is not on today's agenda, you may speak now. Each speaker shall have 3 minutes. So if there's anybody in the waiting room who wants to speak on just general issues, please identify yourself. It looks like we do not have any public comment tonight.
Right.
So we're talking about the minutes of the April 4th, 2022 meeting. Does anybody on the committee have any changes or revisions to those minutes? I see none. The approval of the minutes is going to be part of the consent calendar. That's item number 1. Item number 2 on the consent calendar is Atlas Sign for Beyond Hello Dispensary, requesting a sign application for the installation of new signage located at 4765 East Ramon Road. Item number 3 on the consent calendar is Front Signs for Pineapple Express Dispensary sign application for the installation of new signage located at 695 South Williams Road. Do we have a motion to accept the consent calendar?
I'll make a motion to accept the consent calendar.
Thank you, Dan. Second?
Second.
Second by John Walsh. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we'll move on to new business. Item number 4, elemental architecture for exterior modifications to an existing commercial building to include repainting and rooftop structures located at 2481 North Palm Canyon Drive. Could we have a staff report, please?
Yes, good evening, gentlemen. Nice to see you. It is, I'll start with my PowerPoint here. Okay. So, can everybody see my PowerPoint here?
Yes.
Okay. So, elemental architecture, the agent for Adnan Limamuk is looking to dress up the building significantly at 2481 North Palm Canyon. So I'm sure you're familiar with this property. It also has the mural on the side that we in planning here refer to as the Sunglass Lady. So that is also part of their proposed exterior changes, is to refresh and maintain the existing mural per a mural permit that was processed, I believe, in 2015. They're also proposing to add an exterior stairwell that will go up to a rooftop deck. The rooftop deck will be in the front portion of the building, as you can see in this slide, And then the existing mechanical equipment in this area will be relocated to the rear of the building above the parking lot. And then they will screen it accordingly. You may recall in the staff report, the stairwell has a maximum height of 32 feet, and that is allowed per building height code as a covering for a stairwell or an elevator shaft, things, architecture features of that nature. They are also proposing this rooftop shade structure that also exceeds 30 feet building height, but the code also allows for a measurement of 18 inches above the curb height or curb of the street, crown of the street rather, whichever is available. So the applicant had given me a curb height that's actually 4 inches below the finished floor of the building. So we're set with that 31 feet in total height for the shade structure. This is the material board that they're planning. So this would be decking for the rooftop deck, metal screening and planters. And we have an outline of the charcoal is the majority of the building will be painted that color, as we can see in these renderings. And the black is for screening, the black is for the railing and planters and accents. And these are the existing photos. So as you can see, it will be quite an improvement that they are proposing for this building. Part of this project is also encompassing a change of use, because currently they are apartments on the second floor, but it will become effectively an office suite, kind of a shared office suite type of use, very similar to 750 North Palm Canyon, but just on a much smaller scale. And there's a street elevation closer up of what the showing curb height, finished floor, and the top of the stairwell enclosure and the top of the shade structure.
So there is two lots. This is the one in front of the street. Yeah, there's a little skinny lot. A little lot, and then there's a bigger lot. So far as the standing. Is there like a basketball?
And that completes my presentation, if that's what we're waiting for. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard. Does the committee have any questions for staff?
Mr. Chairman, it's just a point of clarification. Richard, the height is in compliance, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, thank you.
Richard, could you explain the parking situation? I don't see any handicap parking. I don't see any trash, and the spaces seem to be substandard in size. Is it grandfathered in, or what's going to happen with the existing parking?
Basically, it is grandfathered in. The parking counts tally out for the change in use, because it would be less intense than it would have been for residential. And then they will be restriping it. And do I have a ADA? Pardon me a second here. That's a good question. I'm not sure about the ADA, but it can certainly be conditioned to that, because they have to remodel the parking lot to an extent. So it certainly can be conditioned that they add an accessible space.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions of the staff and the committee? Okay, is the applicant present? You have 10 minutes to speak and give us the presentation of your project.
So I will wait to hear from you.
Edward, do we know if anybody's here from the applicant?
I was just going to find out from Todd, is there anyone on the waiting room from the applicant side? Doesn't.
Everybody from the waiting room is in the main room, so they should be able to hear.
Okay. So, Mr. Chair, it does appear that the applicant is not with us.
Okay. Then let's just go to committee discussion of the project. Questions and comments?
Did I ask that Richard go on just because the background noise is so heavy?
I'm sorry, I didn't get all that.
There's a lot of background noise coming in from your mic. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, okay, great.
A couple of questions I have, and I don't know, they kind of need to be answered by the applicant. There's a new roof shade structure. And on the elevation that shows posts, but on the plan, there are no posts showing and just a fairly faint dotted line that kind of, I guess, indicates the edge of that. But I think we need more detail on that. On the color and material board, it calls out a wooden ceiling, but I don't see that indicated on the elevations or on the floor plan. And I question if that one stairway going up to the roof gives enough egress for fire, or if 2 stairs would be required. And then looking at the site plan in the southwest corner of the building, which would be then the southeast corner of the parking lot, there's a little area shown and it calls out new rope lights, custom planters, and custom bench. I have no idea what that is. And then I also wonder if there's any lighting up on the new rooftop deck. So I think it would be my suggestion that this be continued until we can get more information from the applicant. But we're open for everybody's comments if anybody else has anything. John.
Mr. Chairman, just a few things. Is it their request? Is it the request of the applicant to repair and restore the mural, or is that a condition from planning?
That's a condition from planning that they have to maintain the mural just as it was approved, color and everything. And it's part of the conditions of approval in the actual mural approval of maintenance. So there's a maintenance schedule, and the new building owner will maintain that schedule.
Okay, and that's part of the executed requirements or the documents. It's an ongoing maintenance program, so it will always look good.
That's correct.
Okay. When you look at the elevations, a dominant feature is the dark color, and I think that I agree with Tom. It's kind of hard to see what's going on in the coordination between plan and elevation when it's just it looks like it would be aesthetically successful, but there are some things that don't match. The other thing also is that if it is a requirement, and I think it is, to put in at least one handicap space there, that's going to have kind of a profound effect on the parking. That's just going to cost some. It looks like it's down to the inch now. So anyway, those would be my concerns.
I also noticed a technical issue that the railing that they have on the roof is only 2 foot 7 inches tall. I believe it needs to be 42 inches tall.
That is correct.
Dan, any comments?
No, I concur with you that I think that the owner should be here in order to, or the applicant should be here to answer some of these questions that you have.
Okay, Steve, anything?
Nothing new to add, no.
Edward, could you make a list of those questions and comments that I have and pass that on to the architect or applicant? And I'm going to make a motion that this item be continued until we can get complete information.
Yes, so we're going to go back and list all the questions and all the comments. We'll pass those on to the applicant, and we'll make that as part of your motion and as part of the basis for the continuation of the item.
Okay, do we have a second for the motion?
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Second by John, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. So Edward, do you want to read the list of questions you have, or do you want me just to go over it with you tomorrow on the phone?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. With that, our meeting is adjourned until 2 weeks from yesterday. Thank you all.
All right, thank you all, appreciate it.
Quick one. All right.